Video Games Recon.
Hello and welcome. My name is Nate from Video Games Recon, and in this video and series we're going to be discussing my first impressions of all the weapons from Advanced Warfare, category by category, and at a later date, once I've grown more accustomed and if I have the time, I may go into greater detail and review each weapon individually. Okay, first off, each weapon will be in its base form in terms of minimal attachments for as fair a comparison as possible, and in terms of variants, as each weapon has up to 10 variations that can be acquired via supply drops. And obviously I don't have all those probably hundreds of weapons available to compare. Also, as an FYI, most if not all the footage will be recorded in a local lobby against bots, as I haven't as of yet unlocked all the normal variants of weapons. Also, this is my day 1 or day 2 impressions of the weapons available, so that opinion over time is subject to change. And if your opinions differ from mine, no need to go mental and have a hissy fit. Instead, please feel free to have a rational conversation about it with me or other people in the comments. Anywho, I think that's everything covered, so without any further ado, let's do it to it. Okay, so this one is the specials category. With this, I've also lumped in the crossbow, which is a special, but it's a secondary special. But I figured that it would be out of place to put it in with the pistols, so I'm going to put it in with the other two specials, the grenade launcher and the Riot Shield. So, for this, it's kind of hard to do a complete fair comparison because one's a Riot Shield and one's a grenade launcher and one's a crossbow. They're quite different, weapons. So, but I've tried to keep it fairish because this one's a primary, so I put it as secondary because I'd imagine that's going to run out of ammo pretty sharpish. So I put a secondary on a pistol with tack knife and extended mags, and obviously the perks are the same. It's just lightweight to speed you up, sleight of hand again shouldn't affect shit, peripherals and scavenger again, they're not going to affect the way how good the guns are or whatever. So I've got the exo shield up because I'd imagine that's going to be a bit of a problem, but it'll be weird having an exo shield and a heavy shield. I don't know how that will work, but that should be interesting to check out. Also, we have got the, where is it? Yes, the crossbow. Again, it's a secondary, so you're probably not going to rock a secondary by itself very often. So to test, it's not like a handgun which you can sort of run by itself to test it out. I'd imagine it's going to be a lot more tricky. So I put on an SMG. I'll just switch to the crossbow most of the time, but I'd imagine it's going to run out of stuff. And I put on a couple of stun grenades, which I'll take one off actually, so it's fair, so they've all got it. Just because I'd imagine it's going to reload quite slowly, so that might be an issue. But again, the perks and everything else is the same. So this one is a bit trickier to give a fair comparison, but nonetheless, I have done my best. So anyway, let's get into the game.
Enemy UAV online.
Okay, so we are rocking the specials. This is the MDL grenade launcher. It's very similar to a grenade launcher from Ghost, which I can't remember the name of. It might even be the same one for all I know. Basically, it fires like I'm not sure if it's a Semtex round, but it detonates. It doesn't detonate on impact, so you fire it, it waits a while, and then it detonates. The problem with this is I didn't check in the setup whether you can have an add-on so it detonates at will. But without that, it's pretty fucking useless for straight up kills. I mean, as per usual with stuff like this, I'm sure it's great for clearing objectives and rooms on things like hardpoint and demolition, but on anything normal, on any normal matches, you shit out of luck, it's nearly fucking useless. I mean, you will obviously get a few kills here and there, but yeah, let's not Okay. It's pretty good for, what are they called in this? I can't even remember what they're called. Those big fucking badass things. What are they called? The exo suit thingy Terminator things. I can't remember what they're called. Never mind. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the fucking Juggernaut things is pretty beast for them. But, yeah, for regular Joes, which you're going to be fighting most of the time, look at that. He'd be so dead by now. And I didn't even kill him. An assist. It's a good weapon for specific, very specific things. It's just incredibly unreliable. And the problem with that is, it's not a secondary, it's a primary. So, unless you've got overkill, you're going to have to rely on a handgun.
We've lost control.
Which just is not ideal. So, personally, unless you're playing Demolition or Hardpoint, or you're rocking Overkill, I would probably give it a miss. I mean, I'm sure it's a beast for getting, you know, clearing an objective, like, you know, clearing A or B or whatever, if there's loads of enemies trying to cap it, but in general, it's pretty much horseshit, so, yeah. Right, let's get into the next one. Hopefully I can kill myself on this level. The next one being the Riot Shield. Ah. That's very dramatic of you, sir. Now this one, again, unfortunately, is a primary. However, I could see this one having a little bit more potential. Again, you could use it for certain objectives. Hardpoint would probably be a good one. So you can, like, you know, plant it down in an entrance or whatever. It's basically the same Riot Shield as in Black Ops 2. So, I mean, you can do some, you can give it some add-ons now, which is pretty cool. Which I'd definitely be checking them out at some point. But for a fair comparison, I just wanted to basically have it as standard. So, I personally never did really in Black Ops 2 run this as a primary and run around, unless I'm just trying to troll people and just, you know, dick around and wind people up, yeah. But I could see this having a use because I hate getting shot in the back. I always get shot in the back. I'd have to say half my kills are from getting shot in the back. Well, half my deaths, I should say, even. So I would think about having this on just to cover my back, because then the only way they could kill me is if they shoot at my feet, and it gives me a chance to, you know, maybe... Because if, you know, there's not going to be good multipliers on the feet, so it gives me a chance to survive. Get a bit of payback. Oh, see, like that. I sort of killed myself there because I was just about getting my shield out. Oh, lovely. System hack. Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't got hardwired on this, so we have to put up with this OP nonsense, but hey ho. Yeah, so as you can see there, before I foolishly switched out to bring my shield out, when I was getting shot in the back, it was actually saving my ass. So that's a pretty sweet deal. We'll try and rock it like as a primary, which is as I personally would never use it, but you know, you might, it might float your boat. You might have figured out since Black Ops 2 how to make this sort of technique work for you. Plus the hits. Yeah, see, I can't really do it. I know you got to crouch a bit, but yeah, it's a 2-hit kill. I think that's the same as Black Ops 2, and of course you can plant it. I think it's got some cool things like when you plant it, you can look at all these guys I could have killed. You can make it so it gives like a shockwave which concusses people. Yeah, hitting them outright. I'll just try and plant it next time. And there we go. Okay, that's a friendly. I don't know why his signal wasn't popping up on his head. It's kind of distracting, that. Okay, we'll plant it down when we find some douchebag. Let's say you wanted to hold down this corridor.
Enemy UAV online.
You can sort of have it for that, and it sort of does work. I don't know how. I don't think you want to stay there too long personally, so I think it's just a sort of plan and put down. But personally, unless you're doing an objective thing, I don't think I'd ever really have it as a primary. Oh, you can't put it there. I think personally I would only just have it for my back, just to cover me in rare situations, or if I'm playing like Hardpoint, or I don't know, maybe Capture the Flag or something where you really want to hold down like a doorway or a corridor or something. Then plant it down and try and hold the area. I mean, like you can see, it can absorb a lot of damage, but you know, certainly in no way makes you immune. But all in all, it's pretty decent if you know, if you want to rock something like that. So, right, let's move on to the next way. The crossbow. Again, this is a secondary, not a primary, and it's technically in a different class. However, I wanted to bundle it in just because this is another one that, you know, you just don't want to rock as your main weapon. Because, unless you get a stick, it's just, you know, it's another unreliable weapon, like the grenade launcher. However, the difference being that it's a secondary, so you wouldn't have to waste a slot on overkill to have it as a practical use. Plus, you can put scopes on it and stuff, so you could sort of have it as like a makeshift sniper rifle. So this one actually has a lot more use. So if you would just rock it how I would usually rock it, as he's an enemy, and it's hard to fucking tell. He's obviously got that perk on where it makes you right in above your head and like, invisible or whatever. But yeah, I would rock it purely as a secondary when as, in fact, it'd be perfect for an SMG or whatever, because sometimes they struggle at range. So you just whack that out. Say they're in that window, and like you're not sure you're going to pick them off with your SMG. Boom! You can just sort of snipe them. So you can use it as a makeshift sniper. Plus, with its explosive damage, again, this is another one for objectives where it could be helpful. Now, I don't think the explosive damage on this is going to do. Oh, I was trying to get a stick. Would do like one shot explosive damage if it's near them. I think it's probably only going to kill them outright if they're already wounded or something. But what the hell? Oh yeah, blast shield. I don't know what it's called in this one. But yeah. Aside from that, those downsides, I'd say it's pretty good. And like I said, because this is classed as a secondary, how did I not get bullseye then? Yeah, Deadeye, where is it? Eat that bitch. Yeah, because it's a classed as a secondary, it instantly becomes a lot more useful. So if I was gonna have to pick which weapon I'd go for, I'll probably go for this, just for the fact that it's classed as a secondary. Because the shield in this, I'd say, are tied for usefulness in certain situations. Because like I say, I'd love to have the shield on my back all the time and it costs me nothing, because I hate getting shot in the back. But yeah, it costs an extra mark with overkill, so an extra point, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, for that simple reason that you don't have to waste so many of your pick 13, I will pick this, because it can be useful in specific situations, and that's what you want a secondary for, specific situations. So yeah, my favourite shall be the crossbow for specials.